So oversupply, correction, and the market bubble, these are the major objections right now from the buyers. Whenever they are exploring any option in Dubai real estate, they always ask these questions. These are very common questions, and every agent who is watching, they know that they have been asked like hundreds of times from their buyers. In this video, I wanted to give you a complete detailed information on what does each and every objection means. See, if you look at all of the areas right now in Dubai, most of the areas, like a majority of them which are freehold, are having the average occupancy of 80 to 85%. Even in the prime segment, the occupancy is touching above 75 to 80%, which is quite healthy. But again, in 2025 and in 2026, anyone who is losing money while investing in Dubai real estate is not because of the situation of the market, it's because of the bad timing. Because right now the market is quite healthy, but again, when the prices started increasing up and climbing up for the past 3-4 years time, and the growth becomes much more organic, things become a little bit tricky. At this time, you need a consultant who is looking at all of those detailed information about certain areas, so that he can analyze and give you the reasoning, so that you will be much more confident while investing or before investing. So in Dubai, everyone talks about which areas to invest, but nobody talks about which areas to stay away from if we are looking at it as an investment perspective. Now, if you're buying because of the hype, if you're buying because of ChatGPT told you so, this video will save you money. Now, if you were to look at the history of certain areas, a lot of agents say right now, if you were to look at the history of the past 3-4 years time, 2021 till 2023, the idea of flipping was still good because of certain areas being developing and the prices were quite undervalued in certain areas compared to every other market of Dubai. But since 2025 and 2026, which is an upcoming year, you really need to assess all kinds of options and understand which segment you're targeting, what is your competition, what is the total supply in that area, and what is the affordability criteria for those kinds of assets. Now, let me explain you how. In JVC or Business Bay, which are the most common knowledge areas in Dubai, if you were to look at the past 5 years data, from 2018 till 2019, the population was somewhere around in JVC was touching to 20,000, 19,000 plus minus. Now the population in just JVC area is 34,000 people living. For average occupancy rate in JVC is almost around like 80%. Now, if you were to look at in Business Bay, the number was quite similar since 2019. And since 2019, the number of people who are living in Business Bay, it jumped to in 2025 to around 28 to 27,000 people. I could be giving you estimation a little bit higher or a little bit lower, but again, if you were to look at the reports, you will end up finding the number close to this amount of people living inside those areas. Now, the situation of JVC right now, there is a huge supply coming up, but that doesn't mean those properties will not be absorbed. That only means that your rental returns will get shrink because of a lot of competition. Correction doesn't mean that people will start moving out from these areas. Correction means that certain areas which are oversold to the buyers, the actual market which will be coming up to rent out your property or buy your property at that time of handover, they will be deciding your price. Now, in JVC right now, if you were to go buy a ready property, the price per square feet is somewhere around 1,400, 1,500 or 1,600. But if you were to look at the off-plan properties which are being sold right now, it's touching above like 2,200 or 2,000 dirham price per square feet mark. Now, same is the case with Business Bay. The gap is still the same. In Business Bay, if you were to go find a ready property, see, I'm not saying that average price per square feet decide what is the price of that area. Certain developments, I can totally understand. They have a different kind of a buyer segment. There you can expect the prices to jump. But again, if you were to compare the all average buildings inside Business Bay, you will find that the ready market and the off plan, there is a big gap. In ready market, the properties are trading at 2,000 to 2,100 dirham price per square feet, and in the off-plan segment, the prices are going above 2,600. Now, branded residences, if you were to pick up branded residences, yes, some properties makes total sense, but non-branded residences, same things being offered, a little bit of changes in the amenities doesn't cut it. Now, this is the very important point that you have to address when you're looking at any kind of an investment in Dubai. Now, my YouTube channel is basically based on giving you all those best investment propositions which are in the market of Dubai. In 2025 and in upcoming 2026, things will be a little bit trickier, which is why the products that I sell, I know those are undersupplied, and I can give you all the reports, and I can give you all kinds of angles to look at it, and you will end up finding out that these are the products which make sense price-wise and which will be absorbed at a very high rate, and the premiums that you will be asking will be nothing compared to any other property in the whole Dubai. Now, if a project makes sense and the prices went up last year, that means the time has already passed for investment. But for certain kind of buyers, let me give you an example. For certain kind of buyers, it still makes sense, because if a buyer who wants to invest, but it is most likely that he's going to live inside that property as well. For that kind of a buyer, I can totally understand if he's entering into a very last phase. But certain segments, you have to be really careful. Studios, 1 beds, 2 beds, I can understand you have to be very careful if you're entering into the last phase, mid phase, or the final phase of the inventory being launched. The whole area also decides what is the right time to invest in those kind of development. Now, this video is basically generic, but in the end of this video, I'll tell you what kind of products make sense, where the principles are very strong as per the Dubai real estate market behavior and the consumer behavior. Now, another thing which most people miss is the price to rent ratio. If the price to rent ratio in certain areas is quite less, which means that whoever will absorb or rent out your property, you have a great probability that that tenant might end up becoming a homeowner, giving you the offer for the desired premium that you will be asking after a time when you really want to resell. These are some little factors. Now, if I really oversimplify things, that doesn't mean that this is it. These are the only things that you should be careful of. There are certain things which are really irrelevant for some kind of an audience, which is why I really don't get into that kind of a conversation in the video. But I simplify so that anyone who thinks he's making a mistake or he is not sure, or they are being oversold on certain products and they are hyped about certain products, they can have those kinds of information which they really need to ask their consultant, so that they will have a complete clarity if they are going right way or they are going sideways. Now, another angle to look at which areas to invest in, what kind of areas to stay away from. Now, let's imagine right now, if there is an area in which the 1 beds are being rented for on an average, for an average building, not the low tier, I'm talking about the mid tier, a good quality building. The 1 bed average is set. Already there are like 34 buildings have been handed over. You know, certain areas have their own kind of affordability. And you know what kind of areas I'm talking about. The JVCs are JVT, you have DLRC. So let's imagine right now, if there is an area in which the 1 bed rental is going for 75 to 85,000 dirham a year. All right, depending on what kind of building you're investing in, what kind of size it is. But this is the average rent for that kind of a 1 bed. Now, in that area, if you were to go for a 1 bed which is priced at 2 million dirham in the ready market or above, your rental returns become almost like 4%. So these are the things that you should look into when you're buying into a ready market. What are the prices going on? Are you being oversold onto certain areas? So there have been situations with a lot of buyers who in the previous cycles of Dubai, when things were very uncertain about the market and brokers were selling everything that they can get their hands on. So in those situations, some of the people were sold in the building in which the total value of apartment should be around 800 to 900,000, but by the developer, because of selling out their inventory, because of the sold out hype that these developers create, they sold one beds, and the studios, in some cases I've seen the studios were being sold for 1.5 and 1.6 in Business Bay. And now when they went on to liquidate those kinds of assets, even though the asset is completely mature, people are actually living inside that property, but the market decides what is the price for those kinds of assets, which is why I really look into it very deeply. Now I know certain buyers just want to stay in downtown Business Bay or any nearby close proximity area of the main Dubai, and they don't want to go towards the south part and they don't want to invest that long term. So if you really want to invest in those epicenters of Dubai, in the main city centers of Dubai, you should go for something which is unique in that area. Same is the case with all of those areas in which there are like hundreds of buildings being developed and there are more supply coming up than any other area in the whole Dubai. Because if you're buying a one bed and the whole area is being supplied with the most one beds in studio, you're competing with so many buyers. But if you're buying something of a like two beds, and imagine right now this is how I analyze. So if anyone gives me an inquiry and he really wants to invest into a two bed or a three bed, or if he gives me a budget and he wants to invest in certain kind of areas and he have a goal and objective that we have discussed what he wants to achieve, I really look deeply into if the whole area is being oversupplied with the 1100 to 1200 square feet of two beds. If the development in which we are looking seriously in, and those two beds are 1500 square feet, this is the actual demand of the market in that area, we really get into the clarity and the confidence like this is where we can make money. Same is the case with the branded residences. If you were to go for in those oversupplied areas, you should always go for two beds, three beds or penthouses, something branded, unique, with a very beautiful view. A good branded residences is always considered to be a hospitality brand, which comes with so many services of managing that property, giving the services to the guest, bringing Michelin star restaurant inside that specific development. This creates that kind of a value. Same happened in Royal Atlantis. Nobu is located in Royal Atlantis and a lot of celebrities visit that. Now that became an address within an address. Palm Jumeirah is already a kind of a status symbol for a lot of people. In that Palm Jumeirah, Royal Atlantis is that kind of a symbol. Same is the case with Dorchester Collection. Dorchester Collection, again, a beautiful branded residences, but what sets that development apart is those kinds of services. So these are the key factors to understand before deciding into or jumping into any kind of. Now payment plans are trapped and good renders, and it's not matching the contractor profile, and also the contractor doesn't have that much of an experience. These are another things to look at when you're investing into something in Dubai. This is why you need a good consultant who have an eye in a market. Now, if you have a consultant already, you can ask him these questions so that he can give you all that kind of a clarity, and every angle is finished so that you can decide. Now I know in Dubai inventory picks up very quickly, which is why certain people jump in. They didn't even have time to explore, research about a market. But again, anyone who have already had a meeting with me, they know what I'm talking about. I never push them. I have always tried to educate them about the market and let that decision to be in their hands. Never have I ever pushed any of my buyer to buy something which he doesn't want, or even if he's hyped about certain products, I always tell them to stop, have patience, wait, educate yourself, become confident, and then jump onto it. Now, the biggest risk in 2025 and 2026 is not investing in Dubai, is the wrong strategy. Even though the prices are climbing up, there are still opportunities in this market. You just need to evaluate, assess better options before jumping into any conclusions. Now, the careless investors always complains in this market, because I've been contacted by those people as well. because a lot of people fall for flashy brochures and the flashy amenities, and a lot of amenities doesn't even make sense, right? Now Dubai is right now mastering the whole world in marketing, which is why a lot of people fall for the hype. And most of the people, whenever they have visited Dubai for like 2, 3, 4 or even 10 times, they haven't looked into the real estate. They just know about certain areas, they just remember the names and certain locations. They don't know the actual situation. That's why we are on the ground. You can get all kinds of clarity, and even the experienced broker that you're dealing with, he can give you all kinds of right information before you asking. So the key questions are, what are the resilient properties in 2025 and 2026? And there are some very exciting launch coming up by Emaar, H&H, and on the beachfront location by Beyond. And there are some very interesting products coming up in Abu Dhabi as well. So in this video, I just wanted to share some principles with you. Now, here are the list of products which I am working very seriously on, because I know 100% anything that I've spoken about and anything that I've not spoken about, if we get into the discussion, we get into the details and the question answers, and the objections and everything, looking at the economy of Dubai, which areas will be absorbed much quickly, you will end up finding that these are the most resilient products. Because in 2025 and 2026, the most common question from the investors will not be if the price can double. The most common question will be if the product can survive even in the moments of correction, or if anything happen in any kind of a situation. Now, in the next video, I'm going to go in detail to break it down, all of these best investment opportunities in Dubai right now, in which I know 100% these products are resilient as well after looking at all the indicators. Also, I know the prices will also climb because of the kind of family relocations happening in Dubai as well. The one product to look at is the Valley by Emaar. And January, we are expecting another launch of Jumeirah Golf Estates 2. H&H Sunrise Valley, I got so many inquiries, a lot of people contacting a lot of brokers for this new product, which is the news is not out. We got some unofficial information. So you can contact me on my given number to get all those information for the townhouses that they are coming up with. Townhouses, we can get into the debate of that, if they are worthy of investing in townhouses. There will be villas coming up inside that community as well. And Sunrise Valley, H&H, Athlon Premium Villas is another good option right now. 60-40 payment plan, handover is in 2027 and 2028. Great value for money in that area, in the specific location. Beautiful community designed by Innovo. So if you look at the profile of Innovo contractor, you will know that what kind of communities and what kind of buildings that they have developed in Dubai. Very high profile. Eden Hills by H&H, a beautiful villa community, but the ticket size is above 30 to 40 million, the kind of a villa that I know you will desire. These are the villas in which you can really quadruple or even increase your investment by twofold. The Heights Country Club and Wellness, the only wellness-based theme community by Emaar. It was the project got cancelled last year when they were about to launch. Because of some approvals, the project got cancelled, which is why they stopped it. Now everything is being said and done. The EOI process have already been started. If you really want to queue up for this new launch, we are the #1 agency of Emaar. We are the best ones to get you the priority on the booking day and the kind of a unit that you want to select in that specific launch. 3 to 5 bedroom villas will be, and 5 million will be the starting. 5.5 you can take, plus minus 5.5 will be the average price for a 3-bed. What kind of layouts, what kind of sizes, you can contact me on my given number to talk about it. The Grand Polo, there will be more launches coming up. It's a very interesting product. See, the thing is that sometimes in certain areas, you see the price per square feet and you see the ready market and you see there is a big gap. And in certain products, the product is very resilient. The kind of a thing that haven't been done in whole Dubai, the ready market is a little bit below than the off-plan prices, but that doesn't mean all the time that this product will not perform or this product will not appreciate, because the market will decide, and the behavior of the market, we really look into it very deeply, which is why I shortlisted these products and I got the most inquiries, and I've sold in these communities as well. So I know 100% what kind of objections buyers have whenever they want to invest into a villa. So I hope this video adds some value to your information. So if you're really seriously looking into invest in Dubai, my number is given. I do a lot of research before making these videos so that I try to add as much value as I can, because I know the market is quite aggressive and people are oversold onto certain products. So I bring as much value as I can so that people invest with confidence and they have a beautiful experience while investing in Dubai. So I hope you like this video. This is Matloob Ahmed Khan. Thank you for watching. Signing out.